Jazz Chisholm, the new addition for the Yankees. More on that in a second. Third game of the series. Aaron Judge had a great series. Going the other way. Verdugo scores, Yanks out to an early 1-0 lead, looking for their first series win over Boston in 3 tries this season. There's Jazz. First at-bat as a Yankee, strikes out. Next batter, Gleyber Torres, who has really struggled this season. But much like last night, the Yankees had guys deliver on this night that normally haven't all season. Remember, they blew a big lead Friday night, won 11-8 Saturday, and now in position to win their second series in the last 12 tries. Rob Refsnyder, former Yankee, off Rodon. It's 4-1. Hang tight. Next batter, Connor Wong. Hang tight. It's 4-2. And despite the last 2 pitches we showed you from Rodon, he actually did pitch fairly well, even though it was the 23rd home run allowed this season, most in baseball. But soup to nuts tonight, he was good enough. In the 8th, Oswaldo Cabrera. Again, last night, Saturday night, it was Austin Wells. On this night, it's Oswaldo Cabrera. Doesn't have to be Judge and Soto every night. Couple runs come in, 7-2. One of those fans liked it. The other 2 didn't. Chisholm standing on first. Now check this out. That one hit to the hot corner. Throw across. Fire to second. And what happened there? Jazz is slow to get up. Upon further review here, we need to see a different angle. There you go. He collides. Oh, didn't see it coming. Just straight into Gonzalez. Wonder how he would be. Well, on the next pitch, throw back to the mound, he takes off for third. So I think the only people with cobwebs wasn't Chisholm after the collision. It was the Red Sox for falling asleep. Yanks win the series. After the game, Aaron Boone asked this.
How exciting that trip around the bases for Jazz in the 9th inning.
Yeah, pretty good. Got hit pretty good in the jaw there. So I didn't see the collision. I just saw him kind of scrambling back to the bag and then kind of rolling a little oh-no, definitely. But looks like he's okay. Glad we got him, excited we got him. Looking forward to getting to know him here over the next several days and hopefully getting him settled in.
How exciting was it to put on the Yankee uniform for the first time tonight?
It was super exciting. I mean, every kid dreams of being a Yankee. You know, it's the most famous team in baseball that Derek Jeter played on, you know what I mean? So everybody's favorite player was Derek Jeter growing up. I had him as an owner, so I just feel like it was only right to come on and put on the uniform.
It's got the full Jeter connection, Mike. Miami Marlins, New York Yankees, right? Yanks take 2 of 3, just their second series win in the month of July. The first since taking a 3-game series in Baltimore. That was right before the All-Star break. And you saw Aaron Judge there in the highlights. He really had himself a good series, including a monster blast in the series. He had an RBI in all 3 games of the series. He continues to do his part. They're just a game back of the Orioles for the top spot in the East, despite all the struggles here for the last 6 weeks. But I should mention they do have a big series coming up with the Phillies this week. So they got Chisholm from the Marlins on Saturday. You saw his impact right away. Tons of versatility, especially in the field. Question now is, are the Yankees done? The trade deadline is 6 Eastern on Tuesday. Our baseball insider Jeff Passan now on what more the Yankees might try to do before then.
The Yankees may have started their deadline with Jazz Chisholm, but it is not going to end there. They need relief pitching, and the reality is at this point the prices are high, and they're going to continue to be high because the returns on Carlos Estevez as well as Jason Adam. But the Yankees have a deep enough farm system to go out there and get a player like Tanner Scott from the Miami Marlins or perhaps Pete Fairbanks from the Tampa Bay Rays. Whoever they do get, they need bullpen help, and with only 1 game separating them and the Baltimore Orioles, they're primed to go and get it.
Well, quite a few games of baseball still to be played, but this weekend set between the Guardians and the Phillies may be a World Series preview. Phillies came in, best record in National League. Guardians came in, best record in American League. Bottom of the first, Kyle Schwarber leading off. Ladies and gentlemen, please, would you bring your attention to me? His 9th leadoff home run this season. Phillies lead it 1-0. We go to the bottom of the third. Schwarber's up again. Thank you, sir. May I have another? Goes down and laces that one to right. 10 home runs this season against left-handed pitchers. 22nd overall. Phillies up 3-0. Top of the fourth. Johnsky, Noel hits it deep. So deep he put that pitch to sleep. 436 feet for a 3-run shot. And guess who knew it was gone as soon as he hit it? Jose Ramirez. 6th home run of the season for Noel. Guardians tie it at 3. Bottom of the fourth. After 2 runners got on base, Cade Smith to face Schwarber, and he gets Kyle to chase that high fastball. Top of the 7th, base is empty for Steven Kwan, but can I get a taste? You saw those home runs. He wanted one for himself. 11th of the season. That's the same amount as the previous 2 seasons combined. Cleveland, 28th come from behind win this year. That's first in baseball. Now, the Guardians remain atop the American League with that win, but their odds to win the World Series are still just the 8th shortest in the majors, according to ESPN Bet. Phillies, on the other hand, they've got the 2nd shortest odds behind the Dodgers.
They had the shutout win on Friday, the dramatic comeback yesterday. It was a pitcher's duel early. Spencer Arrighetti on the mound, and Dodgers were striking out like dudes in the science club. 7 strikeouts through 4 innings for Arrighetti. But River Ryan would match Arrighetti in his 2nd big league start. Both teams hitless through the first 4 innings. Top of the 5th inning, James Outman 0 for his last 15, so of course he's the guy to break up the no-hitter. Solo home run, first hit of the game, gives LA the 1-0 lead. Bottom 5, same score after a leadoff double. Ryan gets Victor Caratini on the slider, and then Joey Loperfido. How about River Ryan in his 2nd big league start, shutting down that Astros lineup? It was still 1-0 LA. Bottom 6, 3-0 Dodgers lead. They pull Ryan. Yainer Diaz, first pitch he sees, gone. A 2-run shot. So now all Ryan can do is watch as he sees the lead get cut to 3-2. But top of the 8th inning, a little insurance in the form of the home run derby champion Teoscar Hernandez. His 22nd dong of the year. Knew it as soon as he hit it. And the Dodgers win it 6-2.
Oh, look who's with us. Jeff Passan in studio. What a pleasure ahead of the trade deadline on Tuesday. So we got a lot of questions to get to. And let's start with pitching here because there's quite a few big names still out there, most namely Blake Snell, Jack Flaherty. What are you hearing about where they could possibly end up?
They're completely different situations, Shay. And in the case of Blake Snell, he has come off the injured list and been phenomenal in his last 4 starts. But the question for him comes down to something very simple. What do teams believe about his contract? He can opt out after this season. He is also owed $31 million if he opts in next year. And the uncertainty of those 2 things may not make him extremely difficult to trade, but they're going to make it complicated for the Giants. And in the case of Jack Flaherty, he has been by far the best pitcher out there who's on the market right now. The question for the Detroit Tigers is, are they going to go and deal him? Or are they going to try to sign him to an extension? Because you've got teams, the Houston Astros would love to have him. The Cleveland Guardians would love to have him. Every team that's looking for starting pitching right now would love to add Jack Flaherty. The price, though, as we have seen over the last few days, even for impending free agents, is going to be extraordinarily high. So the Tigers have a real decision to make over the next 48 hours.
133 strikeouts this season, 6th most in the American League. I'd say Jack Flaherty is pretty good. Rays have been interesting because I don't feel like the Rays are this horrible team that should be trading everyone away, yet still they seem to be dance partners during this trade season, if you will, namely with my Cubs earlier today. And so what do you see the Rays doing here going forward before Tuesday comes?
Shay, all the Rays are doing is just taking advantage of the market. There are so few teams right now that are selling players that the Rays are like, okay, you know, we don't feel like we're going to make a lot of noise with this team necessarily, even though they're over 500. So you could see them adding to the players aside from Isaac Paredes that they traded. Yandy Diaz is out there. Brandon Lau is out there. Pete Fairbanks might be the best of the bunch, the closer in a market where Carlos Estevez and Jason Adam with the Rays have gotten bonanza returns. I think the way the Rays are looking at this is simple. This is a once in every 5 to 10 years opportunity to absolutely reload their farm system and prepare for the next generation of Tampa Bay Rays to be as good as the previous generation, because they have done everything outside of win a World Series.
Okay, but as for right now, the Rays are 3 games back of the AL wild card. So for now, we'll just stay in that land. Jeff Passan here with the latest ahead of Tuesday's trade deadline. Can't wait for that. Thank you, Jeff.
Thanks, Shay.
Bottom of the hour, Kevin and Shay with you on SportsCenter. The Marlins are in sell mode, could strip down and ship out more parts this week. But don't mind Xavier Edwards if his mind was elsewhere Sunday. Very first pitch of the game. Drive in, drive out, I'm leaving. First career home run. So the Marlins take the 1-0 lead, and Edwards gets the tough part out of the way early. Top of the 5th inning. It's a 4-1 Marlins lead. Edwards came in with just 52 career hits and just 7 extra base hits. So he's got a homer and he's got a double, and now we are really on cycle watch. Top 7, 6-1 game. The X-Man at it again. Deep right center field. Deepest part of the park. Mineola, New York born. He played his college baseball at Vanderbilt, and my man is a single away from the cycle. Top of the 9th inning. 2 outs, no one on. Grounder to short. Willie Adames has got it. But Edwards has the wheels, and he is there to beat it. Here's how it sounded on Bally Sports Florida.
He says, give me the ball. Toward short. Adames has it, gets rid of it quick, and he's safe. He beats it out. It's a single, and it's a cycle. He says, give me the ball.
My buddy Paul Severino on the call. Over the first 30 years of their existence, the Marlins had 0 cycles. Last year it was Luis Arraez. Today, Xavier Edwards. History for Miami. And what a week it's been for hitting the cycle or close to it. July 21st, last Sunday, a week ago, Yordan Alvarez hit for the cycle against the Mariners. First cycle of his career. Second player in the bigs to hit for a cycle this season. On Monday, it's a guy who may be a little bit more likely to do so. Bobby Witt Jr., double, triple homer by the 4th inning. He came up in the 6th inning. He was hit by a pitch. Did not complete the cycle with a single the rest of the game, but he gets 3/4 of the way. And then on Tuesday, Lawrence Butler also finished a single away. You figure if you're going to go for the cycle, single's the easy part.
Yeah, you'd think, but that's not always the case. However, if you're hit by a pitch and you advance to first, that's kind of, you're on first base.
You made it there, yep. And then on Sunday, Xavier Edwards, 3rd player in the bigs this season, 2 hit for the cycle. Also represented the only 2 runs the Marlins score in the game. What a Sunday for Xavier Edwards.
Talking about a day for someone. Elly De La Cruz. Does he ever just walk? Does he ever just go slowly anywhere? Reds visiting the Rays, top 1, no scorers. De La Cruz, no one on, 1 out. Shoots one, back up the middle. That's a base hit, so it's a single to start the day. We talked about those being the easiest. Sometimes they are. But here's De La Cruz taking off for second. In there after Brandon Lau drops the ball. So a single stolen base in the first. Pretty good for Elly. Let's go to the 6th now. Reds up 1-0. Elly leading off the inning. Shoots this one just past the shortstop, so it's a base hit. Elly's 3rd hit of the game. Pretty good. Yandy Diaz there on first. Like, dude, do you ever clock how quick you go? Do you see how fast you flew past me? Very nice pitch. De La Cruz, he's taking off. You know he is for second, and he's going to get there in time. Safe. 2nd stolen base now of the game for De La Cruz. Not done yet. Next batter. Let's keep going. Let's go to 3rd. Little slide. Helmet comes off. Beats the throw again. Now this is his 3rd stolen base of the game, and the Reds would strand him there, so that's not good. Bottom 6, same score. Taylor Walls against Hunter Green. And Walls, you see, pops one up to the left side. De La Cruz chases it down, makes a sliding grab. He's very dirty. Green loving the defense. 8th inning, same score. Elly on first now after a throwing error. And here he goes. Hesitates, but then takes off for second again. Throw goes into center field. De La Cruz gets up and finds his way to 3rd with ease, too. So you can see he's should I go? And then he does eventually take off, and he makes it all the way to third base. 4 stolen bases, 3 hits for De La Cruz. Not enough, though. The Reds would lose by 1 run. But again, a huge day for De La Cruz, racking up 3 hits, 4 bags in the win. It's his second game this season with at least 3 hits and 4 stolen bases. The last player to do that twice in a season was Ricky Henderson in 1988. His season total on the base paths is 55 stolen bases and counting, the most by any player before the end of July since Otis Nixon for the Braves in 1991. This season, Ellie has been caught on 9 of his 64 attempts on the bases, and he's got a commanding lead in the stolen base category, as you can imagine. 24 more bags than the next closest player, Bryce Terang. Ellie's also on pace for 85 stolen bases this season, which would be the most by a Red since 1900.
I love you said he was thinking, should I go? When in doubt, Ellie should go.
Always.
Take it, yes. Kiss it goodbye, and for God's sake, call it the next day, too. Nats and Cards. Flair for the dramatic by Paul Goldschmidt. Bottom 9. Off Dylan Floro, his 16th home run of the year. 8th career game-ending dong. Here's how it sounded on Bally Sports Midwest.
The blue skies overhead. Swing, high fly ball. Belted left. One back. Trick wall. It's a walk-off winner.
Goldie said, I was just trying to get on base. There have been a lot of times this year I haven't come through, so I'm thankful to get the job done.
Back to the diamond now. Cedric Mullins and the Orioles trying to avoid a sweep, hosting the Padres, winners of their last 7. Bottom of the 3rd, Orioles lead 4-0. Mullins drives it into the gap in right center, and that's going to bring 2 runners home. Orioles break open the game with 6 runs in the 3rd inning, and they lead 6-0. But then we go to the 6th. Padres now only trail by 3 runs. Here's Xander Bogaerts at the plate with a runner on. Xander, how about a 2-run bomb? His first homer since May 13th, and the Padres find themselves back in this thing, and now they only trail by 1. Bottom of the 8th, same score for Ryan Mountcastle with 2 runners in scoring position. He grounds it to left. It's a base hit, and so brings 2 runners home, and the Orioles grab some insurance runs. They now lead 8-5. Top of the 9th, same score. Orioles opt to leave out, I should say, Craig Kimball in the bullpen. And Cano is trying to close this thing out, but you can see Peralta chops it up the middle. Gunnar Henderson slides to field the ball, but makes a poor throw to first, and it rolls to the dugout. Henderson, errors are a problem. 4th in this series alone. Maybe it's the clean-shaven thing. I don't know, but Peralta is now on second on the error. Later in the inning now, Cano facing Jerks and Profar with the bases loaded and 1 out, and he chops it weakly up the middle. Henderson fields it, makes the tag at second, but then he's tripped. Tyler Wade is there, so he can't turn the double play. Watch it one more time. So the ump crew would review the play, and they're actually going to overturn it because initially it was base runner interference. And so Hyde is like, what? We're overturning this? Are you kidding me? He's going to get tossed from the game. Padres are still alive, though. They trail by 2 runs. Cronenworth now grounds it out to second, and that is going to do it. So the Orioles hang on, 8-6. They avoid the sweep, and they snap that Padres 7-game win streak.
Meantime, Mets and Braves at Citi Field. Braves stopped some of the bleeding with a win on Saturday, but still just 2-6 since the break. Reynaldo Lopez entered the game with the lowest ERA in the league, 2.12. His day, though, would end after 3 innings, left the game with right forearm tightness in a season that has just been a catastrophe for Atlanta in terms of major injuries. Top 4, David Peterson facing Matt Olson. I mean, you crush me. 3-run shot, 426 off the bat. If Atlanta is going to mount anything, you'd figure that Olson would have to be the guy that would carry him. Bottom 5, Ben Gamble with a man on second. Up the middle, Tyrone Taylor heading home, but Ramon Laureano's throw is on the money. What a throw by Laureano. What a tag by Travis d'Arnaud. Mets hadn't scored a run since the 4th inning on Friday. Top of the 7th inning. Remember, the Mets went out and made that trade to acquire Ryan Stanek. First appearance since coming over from Seattle. Orlando Arcia tags him. It's 5-0 Bravos. Later in the inning, Austin Riley with a man on. Again, all the injuries the Braves have had, you'd figure it might be Matt Olson and Austin Riley that would have to carry them down the stretch. Pete Alonso homered for the Mets, but Atlanta wins 9-2. Meantime, might Sunday have been the last start in a White Sox uniform for Garrett Crochet, facing the newest Mariner, Randy Arozarena. Arozarena on board. Next batter, Cal Raleigh. Off Crochet, 22nd bomb of the year for a Mariners team that's right there in the West with Houston. Seattle with 2-0 lead. Top three. Again, Crochet is going to command a king's ransom. A lefty. Said he wants a long-term deal if he's going to pitch late into the season, though. 2 runs coming to score for Seattle. Mariners a 5-0 lead. Crochet's done after 3 innings. Top of the 4th inning, 5-1 Mariners lead. Men on first and second, and Raleigh delivers one more time. Again, Seattle's already made the move to get Arozarena. Did they do anything else before Tuesday's 6 o'clock Eastern deadline? We shall see. Seattle doubles up the White Sox, and another bitter defeat for the White Sox, 6-3. 14 consecutive losses for Chicago, tying their longest streak in franchise history, which, Shea, was also earlier this season. The Sox are on pace for 121 losses this year, which would be the most by any team since 1900.